Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
The SEC is basically trying to control everything that it possibly can, even remotely having to do with crypto. And so I've got two stories to share with you. One is an update from the SEC going after Library, another cryptocurrency, and this began in March of last year. Well, attorney Jeremy Hogan had something to say about this because they're also employing the a fair notice defense, or at least that's what they're going for. But the SEC is actually treating that a bit differently than they're treating Ripple's fair notice defense, which I found fascinating, so we can do a little comparison there. And then there's also an update on the BlockFi story. You may remember BlockFi, which is a firm that offers interest-bearing accounts on your crypto. Basically, you can set up an account with them, and then your crypto is lent out. That's how it has historically worked, anyway. Well, they became attacked by a number of states, and the SEC ended up getting involved. Well, it looks like there's a settlement. Now, what's interesting here, well, there are a number of things interesting I'll unpack in this video. But one of the things that I found interesting, which Attorney John Deaton pointed out, is that BlockFi ended up hiring a former SEC attorney who was involved in the Ripple case, and they hired him after this regulatory assault on BlockFi began. So how about that? I found that interesting as well. So anyway, plenty to talk about, but before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, I want to get everybody caught up to speed, so I'm going to quickly run through this initial story, which is from March of last year, and then we'll get you the latest along with what Jeremy Hogan had to say about this. The Securities and Exchange Commission has charged crypto firm Library with selling unregistered securities. Library, a decentralized publishing platform that claims 10 million users facilitated its operations via library credits, which are blockchain-based tokens. People can pay creators in library credits to view uploaded content. Now, according to the SEC, however, before developing the network, it sold the tokens as investment contracts with the assumption that their value would go up. So let's pause right here. Think about this. This is something Ripple did not do, or the XRP ledger and XRP existed before Ripple, the company, was formed. This is just an actual fact. There were no funds that went to develop XRP or the XRP ledger, either from the creators of XRP or from Ripple itself. It was already set up, ready to go. And in fact, Ripple's funding came from venture capitalists, which is completely separate from having a securities offering. So it still does make you wonder, though, okay, so given that's the case, why is it that Ethereum's getting a free pass here and Library is not getting a free pass? Might there be a bit of favoritism? Might there be a bit of the SEC selecting winners and losers? Yes, absolutely yes. That's my path, or my perspective here. Piece continues. All told, alleges the SEC in a complaint filed today in a U.S. District Court, Library received more than $11 million in United States dollars, Bitcoin, and services from purchasers who participated in this offering. This, says the SEC, amounted to an unregistered sale of securities in violation of the Securities Act of 1933. And so here's an additional problem with this, and it's also true of the Ripple case too. there is, from the SEC's perspective, there is no path forward. They just want to sue everyone and everything into oblivion. There's no path forward specifically for any firm going into some sort of litigation like this. They just try and strong arm firms to shut them down, bleed them dry. And sometimes the settlements are such that they're bled dry effectively, and they just have to shut down anyway. Or there's such harsh stipulations they can't proceed anyway. But even outside of that, what about the firms that they haven't sued into oblivion yet? There's no path forward for any of these firms whatsoever, because if your problem is that there's a token and somebody financially benefits from it, that's the case of every cryptocurrency on the planet. Okay? So I don't see how the United States is allowed to participate in this explosive asset class where there is the most incredible, greatest financial potential in the history of mankind. The U.S. apparently is not allowed to participate in that if the SEC gets its way. It's repulsive and rather disgusting. And so in a statement, and with Decrypt here, which is the crypto media outlet whose article I'm briefly citing here, LBRY CEO Jeremy Kauffman said the following. The SEC complaint against LBRY reflects an outdated view of the economy that stifles innovation, accessibility, and creativity. LBRY is a blockchain-enabled network that allows creators to publish digital content and consumers to explore and buy content using LBRY credits. And so there you go. There's actual utility here. At least, I haven't done personal research, but that's what's being asserted here. And so, assuming that's the case, why would there not be a path forward? Why do you want to just bludgeon them to death? It just doesn't make any damn sense, especially in light of the fact that the SEC hasn't provided sufficient regulatory clarity. And so here's the latest update from just yesterday. This is a tweet from the official LBRY Twitter account, and they are not mincing words. This is very strongly worded. Check this out, in particular at the end. At last minute, the SEC wants to pause our court case for another 8 weeks to collect more evidence. The case has already been open for 196 weeks. We've complied every step of the way, providing over 1 million pages of documents. These people are evil. That's the quote, folks. That's the tweet. I'm glad they're not mincing words. They are correct. The people at the SEC, they are not good people. These people are evil. They are bad. They are power hungry. It's not about helping investors or market participants. Period. 196 weeks? And they're trying to delay. Look at this. They're trying to delay to collect more evidence. Why did you sue LBRY if you didn't collect all the damn evidence, you freaking asshats? This is the same crap, the same rigmarole that they're giving to Ripple's legal team. On 196 weeks, folks, I'm not some sort of math wizard, but that's almost 4 years. Almost 4 years, and they need some more damn time. You out your goddamn mind. Million pages of documents? Absolutely not. And so Jeremy Hogan saw that, and he retweeted it, and he shared a couple things on this topic here. He wrote, "Don't forget about the other SEC crypto case." So, of course, he's referencing LBRY there. He writes, "Interestingly, the SEC moved to strike LBRY's selective enforcement defense and was successful, but did not even try and strike LBRY's fair notice defense." So let me pause there. I don't know why that is. As far as selective enforcement, fine. But let me just focus on fair notice defense for a second. I don't know why the SEC doesn't have beef with LBRY's fair notice defense, but they do with Ripple's, because they're trying to get that torn down. I'll probably find out at some point in the future. It's just not clear to me, and with me not having a legal background, I don't even know what the proper avenue is at this exact moment in time. Of course, I can ask Jeremy Hogan or John Deaton, lawyers within the XRP community. I understand that. I'm just saying right now, as I was researching this and preparing for this video at this particular moment, I just don't know. So maybe we can find out and I can report back in the future. But I find that rather interesting, or who knows, maybe they will come after the fair notice defense for LBRY at some point in the future. Jeremy Hogan then wrote, the SEC has also moved to extend discovery. The proof required for a selective enforcement defense is much more stringent than for the fair notice defense, which is probably why the SEC chose to attack only the former. But it's good to read the order to keep in mind that Ripple's fair notice defense surviving is not a foregone conclusion. And yes, that is true, although we're optimistic that the judge will find that this is a reasonable defense. It's not guaranteed that Ripple will be allowed to argue that in court. So we're cautiously optimistic at this point. But apparently, as far as it pertains to selective enforcement, making a claim that the government's selectively just coming after you, the burden of proof of that is much higher, and so that didn't seem to go well for LBRY, at least to this point. But fair notice at this point for them seems to stand. Also, the facts and circumstances of that case are quite different, though. Maybe it is less threatening. Again, obviously, there was, from what I've read to this point, there was some sort of ICO type of scenario, some sort of money collected to build out the ecosystem. Very different than XRP, very similar to what happened with Ethereum, though. So some similarities, some differences. We'll see. And then there was also, yeah, so this is, now let's get into the BlockFi stuff here. So there was this from Attorney Deaton, because, here's the headline first before I even get into the specifics. This is from CoinDesk. BlockFi will pay $100 million in settlement with SEC state regulators over high-yield accounts, report. $100 million. So again, BlockFi is the firm that's offering interest-bearing accounts, crypto accounts here. And so check this out. Here's what Attorney John Deaton shared on this topic. He wrote, Attorney Dugan Bliss was co-lead attorney for the SEC in the SEC versus Ripple case. He left in the middle of discovery to go work for BlockFi and their CEO, what's his name here? Zach Prince. Yeah, that's the CEO of BlockFi. And he went to work for them after BlockFi was receiving subpoenas from several states. No doubt the SEC was involved. We live in a pay-to-play world, people. That's the quote from John Deaton. And doesn't it look like that? Just from the outside looking in, what are the optics? Is this all coincidence every damn time we see something like this? I'm just telling you, this stuff doesn't pass the smell test here. And it's kind of ridiculous on its face, because look, a couple things on this. If BlockFi, because mind you, what you're talking about is putting up your crypto and earning interest on it, right? That's what BlockFi has been offering, right? Well, I have a question for you. If BlockFi offering interest-bearing accounts is a securities offering, then why isn't your bank offering interest on your savings account also a securities offering? Do you see the overreach, people? Do you see what the SEC is doing here? They're claiming everything's a securities offering. In fact, Gary Gensler and his crew of asshats over at the SEC, they're saying that stable coins represent a securities offering. Never mind if you look at the Howey test, that one of the 4 prongs of the Howey test is that there must be an investment of money, but specifically with the expectation of profit. Who the hell is putting money into a damn stablecoin expecting it to be worth more than $1 at any point in time? It's always worth $1, you idiots. Jesus, what is wrong with these pricks at the SEC? These are evil people. These are not good people. It's so obvious. Now, in a sense, some of this is a bit rich, though. Now, I've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating, especially for those of you who may have missed this. Y'all aware of an individual named Anthony Pompliano? Nothing against him on a personal level, but I gotta tell you, he hates Ripple and he hates XRP. In fact, he's a maximalist, so he doesn't like anything that's not Bitcoin, but he especially hates Ripple and especially hates XRP. He really does. He's made that very clear through his words. And so he's got a massive following. I mean, he's got, here, there's let's look at it on Twitter here, 1.5 million followers on Twitter. Well, the day after, it was the day after, right? Or the day of, December 22nd, the day that the SEC filed their legal complaint against Ripple, so that's December 22nd, 2020, over a year ago, Anthony Pompliano tweeted out the following: "Good morning to everyone except the people who thought they could sell unregistered securities and get away with it." Now, that's pretty ridiculous. At that point, you gotta kind of wonder, what the hell does this guy not get? Like, the asset class is clearly under attack, and he's gleeful about XRP holders, their investment just dwindling away as a result of this. He's happy that they're going after Ripple, despite the fact that the facts and circumstances surrounding the case, he probably wasn't even sufficiently aware of them, but he had a strong opinion he wanted to share with his bazillion followers. Despite all that, what ultimately happened? Well, check this out. Anthony Pompliano joined the board of BlockFi in August of 2020. So just several months before the SEC sued Ripple, Anthony Pompliano joined the board of BlockFi, only to see it on the receiving end of its own regulatory crackdown beginning in July the following year, 2021. And the SEC jumped in there, and I'm like, damn, I don't believe in karma, but if I did, I'd be like, you know what I'm saying here? Like, yeah, and I don't believe in karma, but this is rich. This is so rich. My gosh. Look what you've done. Look what you've done, Anthony. And here's the thing. I just think it's funny. Like, it's not like I'm bitter about this. I think it's hilarious that you said this and then they came after you in like a very similar, ridiculous way. And so I'm sitting here saying, I don't see how it makes sense for them to come after your organization, BlockFi, but I didn't say the following morning, "Good morning to everyone except the people who thought they could get away with selling unregistered securities." I didn't tweet that out. But you did, Anthony Pompliano, clearly pointed at Ripple. Isn't that something? So here's a settlement, though. Again, here's the headline from CoinDesk. BlockFi will pay $100 million in settlement with SEC state regulators over high-yield accounts. Crypto lender BlockFi will pay the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission $50 million and stop opening new accounts of its high-yield lending product to most Americans as part of a settlement of an ongoing investigation into whether the product is a securities offering, according to a published report. Pause. I do want to know this as well. Let me know if you've heard something, but I want to know when the SEC is going to come after your neighborhood bank and crack down on your neighborhood local bank for offering interest on savings accounts, because that's a securities offering, clearly, right there. Right? I want to know when they're going to crack down on your local banks. Just let me, if you've heard, I haven't heard anything. If you've heard anything, you just let me know in the comment section below. The piece continues. The settlement, as described by Bloomberg, does not appear to affect existing accounts. BlockFi will also pay another $50 million to various state regulators, according to the report. The BlockFi interest accounts have faced scrutiny from securities regulators in New Jersey, Texas, Kentucky, Alabama, and Vermont over the offering. Several of these states planned or issued cease and desist orders as part of their investigations throughout 2021. The company has been under investigation since at least November 2021 over the lending product, which offers yields as high as 9.5%. When asked about the report of the settlement, a BlockFi spokesperson would only say, quote, "We have been in productive, ongoing dialogue with regulators at the federal and state level. We do not comment on market rumors. We can confirm that clients' assets are safeguarded on the BlockFi platform, and BlockFi interest account clients will continue to earn crypto interest as they always have," end quote. So there you go. Not really saying anything about the settlement. That's their official comment, though. And look, I'm so sick of that terrible SEC Supreme Leader and Dictator Kim Jong-Gary. Like, I'm rooting for all of these firms to come out better on the other side of this. I'm not a maximalist, though. I'm not ideologically driven here, though. I just want the space to evolve and be allowed to survive, and just let entrepreneurs working in the space put projects and ideas out there and let the market figure out what projects deserve to be here for the long haul via the messy process of people investing and some making money and some losing money. The free market is what I'm saying. Let that just play out. Let nature do its thing effectively.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.